Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco. Dish out on the movies. Today we are doing episode 4 of Dark Winds.
What season?
Season 4.
You only said episode 4.
Episode 4, season 4.
It would be really hard to review episode 4 of season 1, Safi. I mean, do you even remember what happened in episode 4 of season 1? Because I don't either. Maybe that one was the one with the Taco Bell witch. I don't know.
That was a good one. I actually, that was a fun one.
You like the Taco Bell witch?
Sure. Anyway,
You know at Taco Bell now, they just introduced a new menu item, caramel and chocolate empanadas. So one of them is just an empanada with caramel stuff in it.
Ew.
The other one is a chocolate one with chocolate stuff in it.
Why don't they combine the two? That's what I thought you were going to say.
Nope. But you get both in the same order. That's what's weird. And but anyways, this episode is called The New World. It should have been called The New Season because it almost feels like a new season. Because remember last episode, they were on the reservation and everything. What was it called? Like everything's broken apart, torn apart.
Something like that.
Like your mom. But then all of a sudden now they're in California.
They're in L.A.
They're doing all this crap. And it almost feels like a new show. Like, it was so weird that, they just jumped into being in California. It was almost like a video game. You know, like how in a video game, they'll just jump from story to story and oh, now you're in this place. And then you get to, run around and shoot people in the video game. That's what this feels like. It feels like a video game where oh, now we're in this chapter. So what'd you think about the episode, Safi, from Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies?
It's Safi. Anyway, well, I thought it was pretty good, but there's questions I had throughout the whole thing. Number one, and I questioned this before they even showed this. The reason why they're in LA was because the teenage girl has taken the bus.
Billy.
Billy, it's funny because I had a friend in high school named Billy, so
I bet you did.
I don't hear, I haven't heard that anybody called that before, so it's interesting.
You haven't heard of Billie Jean?
Yes, Marco, I used to listen to that song. Anyway, Billie Jean is not my lover.
What about Billie Eilish or Billie Lord? Or no.
Well, never mind. Come on.
I don't know.
But anyway, I'm thinking so they know she's on the run because she's looking for the brother of the cousin who just died. So, and he's her only relative who's left. So, I guess they need, and she's a teenager, and they're scared for her because that killer woman is going to be after her too. They know this just from past experience. It's logical, but when you get into the episode, the girl obviously isn't even aware of that. I mean, she didn't even. That was like the thought never even crossed her mind, which was so naive and bizarre. But anyway, so all three go to LA, and I'm thinking my first question in the episode is, why do all three have to go? And I guess Joe is going to see his wife there. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. And then Chi and Emanuelita. Chi is still technically has more experience, and but he's sick. That's the next question. Is he keeps, and we talked about this the last episode. He's bleeding out of his nose, and
a tooth came out. And now here's the thing.
It's just bizarre.
Safi's lying because we did find out at the end that it was it's all hallucination.
What is?
But all of it.
The bleeding?
You didn't see that? That's all hallucination.
I wondered about
Emanuelita
that.
comes in the bathroom and then it's all gone. It's a hallucination. But a lot of the stuff in this episode, because I think that this one might be the best one so far just because it was so focused on the case and not focused on soap opera drama.
Yeah.
But
or a little bit. No, I
This was-
wrote down the quotes.
this was a very fast-paced episode, and it was very like a lot of the stuff just like flies by, and it's like, what was that? What happened there? What happened there? And that was kind of like my feeling about the episode. But I would also like to say, that's one of the reasons why it was so strange that they just jumped to them being in California, because there wasn't even any discussion about someone staying behind on the reservation.
There wasn't any
like
discussion at all
we don't see
about
anything.
any of it.
No.
They just show up there, all three, and they're all mad at each other.
It's like a video game.
And Joe, well, he's not mad at them at all, but he's like thinking they're weird because they're arguing.
Joe is the weird one.
And so they're all three like in their little separate, like, I'm not going to talk to you unless I have to.
It's like when three people all want to go to a different restaurant and they're all
And they're all stubborn about it.
yeah, like, I want to go to Chick-fil-A. No, I want to go to Taco Bell. No, I want to go to El Toro. And so another thing that I'd have to say is that Jim Chi, it's revealed that all of that stuff was a hallucination, which I still don't understand why that is. But
I don't either.
number two, it feels like a copy and paste of season 3, where, Joe was picturing bugs everywhere, and what was he, like, vomiting black goo or something?
I don't know.
It feels like a repeat of season 3 where Joe was having hallucinations, and now Jim Chi is having hallucinations. And it's like, what does that mean? And another thing that really pisses me off about this episode, because another thing, the little subplot with the soap opera stuff is that Emanuelita, she and Joe, both of them, they're both kind of acting like nothing that they've done is wrong, and that the person who's in the wrong is Jim Chi because of his reaction. Like, how dare you be mad that you didn't get the job and we didn't tell you and we treated you like a stupid kid or something. Like, how dare you get mad? And so that really bothered me. Like, Emanuelita does say that, like, Joe's the one that picked you. But both of those characters, they kind of act like
childish.
Jim Chi's reaction is the real issue. And it's like, really? Like, maybe he wouldn't have reacted that way if you didn't, number one, make the stupid decision, and number two, didn't hide it from him like he's a kid or something.
And she, in the books, though, I mean, she comes to work there. She could have just gone back to work there. There didn't have to be this thing, this like, well, I'm not going to, she didn't say this, but I'm not going to go back to work there unless I get a rise in my position.
Yeah.
Unless I get an upgrade, unless I'm promoted. She never said that. In the books, never, ever, ever, ever. And it doesn't even make sense. What was she going to do? Join the FBI? I mean, really, that's so. The whole thing would have been avoided.
Join the Black Panthers.
Go.
That'd be hilarious.
Anyway, there's no need for any of this because he could have kept his mouth shut.
She could have joined the Manson family.
She could, for God's sakes, Marco.
Well, it's just like, what is she gonna do? Like,
I don't know why she couldn't have just gone back to work and that was it.
It's
and then if he decides to retire, then that whatever they're going to do goes down the road in an appropriate time.
To me,
but this discord is excess drama, like Marco said. It's just BS drama.
And to me,
unneeded.
It's like they're treating it like she's the main character because that's something you'd expect from like the main character is that like, okay, I'm done with this job, but I'll come back if I get to take over. Like that's a main character.
She never would have said that.
Like, remember Hawk in Twin Peaks, how he was always the deputy, and he never even got to be the sheriff, even after the original sheriff actor refused to come back. And then, like, instead of getting to be sheriff because he deserved it, they brought in his quote-unquote brother or whatever. Like, remember? Like, I did like the actor, but still, it was just very queer. And Hawk was still there. I mean, he still was in the show, and he was great. He should have been sheriff, though. But that's a tangent. But anyways, go ahead, Safi.
Okay, well, we have these questions. So all of that's imaginary, but he did take a drug and drank a bunch of whiskey to wash it down. I don't know why he did that. I was thinking maybe he would fake taking the drug, like hide it under his tongue or something. And so I thought that was incredibly stupid. Because he's supposed to be watching out for that girl.
Safi, that's perks of the job.
Oh, for God's sakes. But if he's high or whatever it's supposed to do to you, how can he keep track of a teenage girl?
It's simple. It's perks. It's free candy.
Okay, Marple, that's just asinine. Okay, but anyway, so he it is real that he puked his guts out, and he's like can hardly walk, and because he's messed up. So
yeah.
But we'll get to that in a minute. But so anyway, the first place they go is this Indian center, and apparently when Jim's mom died or something, he ended up there, so he knew where to go. So he told them, in fact, everything that's happened in this episode, except for after the part where he gets messed up, he's almost doing all the work, the leg work. They're not doing anything.
He's literally doing everything, and that there's this one hilarious part where he gets an in with someone who might have Leroy come to like his party. We'll talk about that in detail, but there's this hilarious part where Joe and Emmanuel Lita are just sitting in a truck doing nothing, and Jim walks by and he's like, okay, got a party to go to later, and Leroy's gonna be there, bye. And then he gets in the car, he just drives away, and it's like, God, what are those two others doing there even? Like, they're just sitting there. It's almost like they both think that they're so important and they're so much better than him that they don't have to do anything. They can just sit around and wait for their lapdog, Jim Chi, to just run around and do everything for them.
Well, and then another thing, and I thought this was kind of like a little error that Marco talks about.
Continuity.
It
depends.
The thing is, after they go into the Indian Center, it's called that, okay? It's not called the Native American Center. It's called the Indian Center. Emanuelita and Joe tried avenues to find the girl within the center, like housing, or have you seen her, or whatever's in there, okay? Whatever's available for services that she might have come in there, because it's full. It's really busy. There's a lot of people there. Jim, he thinks he's bleeding again, and he goes to the bathroom, and then he goes out in the alley, and he's in pain. He's acting like he's in pain.
Yeah.
And this guy comes down the road in his car, and
he just shows up.
Another Native American, a different group.
Are you sure he isn't just Hispanic?
Well, I'm just thinking they're trying on purpose to have Native American actors. So I'm thinking.
Well, that's what I would do, but I'm just asking because I don't know
positive.
For sure. I don't know for sure.
I was just thinking he's just a different ethnic group from a different quote tribe. They don't like that.
And
so
he just teleports there. It kind of reminded me of Goosebumps season 2, where that took place in New York, and so in order to simplify things and make things convenient for the show, people would just magically show up and teleport all over the place. He literally just shows up and he's like, "Hey, I'm the new side character."
Marco, you just said Goosebumps season 2.
Yeah, I said it reminds me of Goosebumps season 2. Were you listening to anything I said?
I just want
Yeah.
Marco.
It's called critical thinking and listening.
Oh, cut it out.
Do you have
Cut it out.
Do you have an earphone in your ear? Do you have a dirt? Oh, she did, guys. She had an earphone in her ear to block out my review.
No, I didn't. But anyway, but the thing is, he talked to him. He found out about where he works, and he needed to get a. He's pretending like he's somebody else. He's just got out from the Vietnam War, and he says where he was in the Vietnam War, what unit and what he was, and this guy was in it too, apparently. But anyway, after he talks to him, he finds out where he is. He's supposed to go to this bar, which is down the street from this place, and to meet up with him to see. He really is trying to find out where this guy is. You know, Leroy or whatever his name is, and the girl.
His name is Leroy.
Anyway, when he tells him, he said he's wearing this ring, and it had the same kind of insignia that the Gorman guy had on his ring. And the thing is, they don't show the ring at all, except for like a faraway view.
Yeah. So
you don't see anything. And usually, in any other show I've watched, they showed a close-up. So I thought that was a mistake.
That's not a continuity error. That's just an error. That's just like I would say. It depends, because if they didn't shoot a clip or whatever you would call it, a shot of the ring in close-up, then there's nothing that the editor could have done about that. So it all has to do with who actually is at fault here. Is it the editor or is it the director? Because, you know, I have shot lists for everything that I do. So if you see a scene of mine and you think that there's something missing, then it's probably because it wasn't shot, which never happens. Because
well, I saw the ring. I'm not saying I didn't see it. He's wearing it, I think, on his pinky finger.
They never show like a close up.
They don't
never
show any close up.
Yeah.
And
that's something. By the way, just a quick notice. That's something you'd see in a regular detective show. Whenever they have like clues and things, they cut to a close up. You know, that's just like basic. Like like The Mentalist, for instance, which I talk about every video now.
But see, he mentioned it as a clue. He mentioned it. It's part of his dialogue.
Yeah.
So if they're going to bring that up like that, they should show the ring in close up. I mean, I rewound it just to look to see if there was any ring. And so anyway, I thought that was a mistake.
No, see, I'm going to theorize because, you know, I don't really know what to take from him having the same type of ring, except for maybe Leroy owes him money or something, and maybe he took the ring as what would you call it, like collateral, or just like until he gets him the money. I don't know.
Well, I was thinking too, it may not even be his. He, like you said, he got it through other means.
Yeah.
In other words, he's pretending to be something he's not.
Well, I also don't think Leroy is dead or anything. Like if they're trying to imply that or something,
oh, no,
I don't think he's dead.
I didn't get that implication.
Really?
No.
You wouldn't get that implication if someone else had something
because other people
that
were
someone.
talking.
No, Safi, I'm talking now. You wouldn't get that implication if someone else had a possession of someone's who's missing. Like, you know, like serial killers like to take trophies. Like, that's like a common thing that you find in investigations where, you know, like they might just have the only clue is that they'll have a possession of someone's, and it's like, well, they're dead. They got killed too. Like that sometimes it's the only thing.
Okay, well, whatever. They didn't show a close-up of the ring, and then he used that as an excuse to say, well, I'm going to go to this bar because this guy was wearing the ring from the same unit or division or whatever that Leroy was in when he was in Vietnam. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
He didn't use that as an excuse. The guy promised him that Leroy would be there.
Well, and there's that too. But he's using that as to validate that connection. So to give more evidence to it, that it's a real thing, that Leroy will come there. And we do find out after they go to the bar that, yes, they all know who he is, and he will, he might be there, who knows. We haven't seen him yet. In fact, I don't think we ever see the guy in this episode at all. We see somebody else and a few things, but we don't ever see that guy.
It's also
after all that.
It's also worth noting that, Safi, we're on episode 4. You know what that means?
That means that they're in trouble.
No, it means we're already halfway through the season.
I know. Unbelievable.
Hashtag modern TV shows. Like, I mean, I'm just having so much fun with The Mentalist because I have been watching season 4 for like 2 or 3 months, and I'm still not finished with it yet. And, you know, with this kind of show, with like Dark Winds, you could just finish a season in a week. You could just watch an episode a day and finish it in like a little over a week. It's like, is that really a good thing? Is that what TV shows are supposed to do? I don't think so. So,
okay.
What's the next thing we should discuss?
The next thing, well, anyway, he does go to the bar for a while, but the guy says, come back later, I'm going to have a party. So we got that. Then Joe called Emma, because he did bring something, which I'm not really sure. I think it's something to do with doing some kind of, I don't know, ritual or whatever.
Sorting sticks or something?
Sticks, yeah. I have no idea what that is. I'm sorry. I just don't. But he had them all nicely put together and tied up in a bow or whatever. And they meet for lunch at a place. She tells him where to go. It's near where she works. And it sounded okay. He told her he was retiring, and all the things that he has been doing to gear up and get ready for it, because she didn't believe him at first.
Yeah.
And then he also brought tomatoes from her garden, and that to indicate that he had built the fence that she had wanted him to build for a long time. So it was keeping them out of the way of, I don't know, I guess rabbits or whatever were eating the tomatoes. Something was. So he had built a fence and it kept the predators from eating the tomatoes. So he brought the tomatoes and those special sticks. And
he's and I will say too, this whole scene was so cringeworthy.
Well,
I don't know what
down.
Safi thought, but
yeah, it was. It was
cringeworthy because it's clear that, like, oh, he's retiring just because he thinks that that's what she wants him to do. He built the fence because that's what she wants him to do. And he said, I'm going to the mountains all the time now like you want. So he's doing that because that's what she wants him to do. And it's like, honestly, that's really cringeworthy. It's like, instead of Joe Sleephorn, he has become Joe Simphorn. And it's clear, it's so strange, like, the way she's acting like she just does not give an F about him anymore. She's just like, yeah, whatever, you're doing whatever. Like, it was just such a cringeworthy scene because never did I imagine that, like, his wife was going to leave him and go to California, and then he's going to follow her there, and he's going to simp for her and be like, oh, look, I got your sticks, and I'm doing all these things. Yeah, I got tomatoes. You know, you can't get tomatoes in California, so I got you some tomatoes. It's like, what the hell is this? Like, is this some kind of girly show for fucking FX or something? Like, what is this shit? Like, what is this romance story? Like, this is a feminist romance story. Like, oh, the guy comes back and now he's changed. You know, that's a lot of the times what these romance stories revolve around is a woman finds a man and she doesn't like things about him, so he has to change everything and do everything she wants him to do and only then can she like him. You
Well,
know. That's Dark Winds now.
I don't know. I just thought, but anyway, he says, well, how do you like it here? Because he can't really believe that she wants to be there over being back home. And this is what she says, quote, "It feels good to be appreciated again, you know?" And I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? Appreciated by whom? What is she talking about? I just couldn't believe it. And then anyway, she has to leave early, and then the next thing we see is the killer, the killer woman.
And we also saw her in the opening of the episode too. There's
That's
a whole
right.
thing
She killed
that she does.
somebody, but we don't even know who it is.
Yeah, it was just some random scene that just flew by, and it's like, oh, whatever that is.
Well, it's been
whatever.
part of what she's been assigned to do that apparently is connected to all this, but
Yeah.
I don't even think we heard his name.
No.
So, and it was not a Native American; it was somebody else.
It was a white guy.
Yeah. It was like he had a regular street clothes on. He was working or something.
Let's just call him Whitey.
No, let's not. Anyway, so the next thing we see her again, and and she really, it was pretty gruesome what she did to him. And she's wearing this gas mask, and it's really weird looking. It's like a science fiction space alien mask.
No, it's supposed to be reference to Nazis.
Oh.
Because then later on, she finds her grandfather, who's Udo Kier, which he passed away this year or last year.
I thought that
unfortunately.
was her dad.
No, that's her grandfather. He says granddaughter. That's Udo Kier. He's German. She's German. So that's the little connection there.
But he has dementia or Alzheimer's and he's very paranoid. And he thinks when she comes in, he thinks she's somebody bad, and he starts to shoot at her.
Yeah.
And she has to duck and then disarm him or whatever and show him her face. Say, "It's me, so-and-so, you know, look at me. You see my face?" So we get to see what her background is. I think she's as nutty as he is. He has Alzheimer's or something, but she's weird. I mean, she is totally weird. So
That was a random scene.
and then she got mad at him. And I guess she got mad that she broke her back window and her rear view mirror or her side mirror. For some reason she busted them out.
Can't remember.
I don't know why. I thought that was odd. Anyway, and I thought, is she doing that deliberately so she can what? I don't know. But then we see her another time.
She visits who Safi thinks is the master villain in prison, and they talk about how she killed Albert, and he says, you've created a mess, it's time for you to clean it up. So
well, apparently Albert wasn't supposed to be killed.
Duh.
And she made a mistake, and she said it was like a good riddance thing, that he was a drag on what they were doing, which I have no idea what they're doing. I think it has to do with drugs, but that's really not clear.
Another drug storyline.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I don't know what else it would be.
Whatever.
I don't really know. And I don't even know if we've seen any clue anywhere as to what it's about.
I miss Dark Winds back when the motive wasn't just about drugs. Like seasons 1 and 2. At least going by the mystery and the motive, like, it was a lot more interesting. Like in season 2, like, why is that guy a terrorist, And then it's like, what was the reason? I don't know. I don't even know now.
Even if you read the books, they're not all about drugs. So
Why not?
they're just not. You have all kinds of stuff.
It doesn't have to be about sex trafficking like we were thinking in season 3.
I don't even know if there's any sex trafficking in there either.
It would just be an interesting change of pace to have a motive that doesn't have to do with drugs.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. So and this guy is in a lockup, too, which I didn't get that. She sees him in a lockup. He has a uniform on. The cop lets her in.
Yeah, that means she has to sign in. She has to be a visitor. She has to go through official channels.
So he wants her to get rid of that teenage girl.
Yeah.
Which that she gets warned that if that woman knows about you, you're dead, because she'll just try to get rid of you. So, want to talk about the next thing that happens?
I'm going to go blow my nose.
Okay, well, the next thing is, remember, Chi is supposed to go to this party, and at the bar where he just met his little friend. And it's real busy. There are a lot of people there. And he talks to people, and so you see him, and the guy, his new friend, comes and gets him, and they sit down, and that's when they have the thing where he takes some kind of stupid pill. I thought he was faking at first, because I thought, why would he do that? And swig it down with hard alcohol from a bottle, and they're both drinking out of the same container.
I think he did it because he thought it might take his pain away from whatever.
Well, that could be
his hallucination wound. That's what I thought, and so he ends up just kind of partying, and there's Leroy never comes, and there's a brief moment where you think that the other guy, I don't know his name, where he maybe suspects something and then he doesn't. And it's kind of clear that he's trying to groom Jim so that he can do, like, criminal work for him.
Yeah.
And, like, it's pretty obvious. And then Emanuelita's there. She's just kind of sitting around. And then Billy's there.
Well, she comes in there because she sees Billy go in there.
Yeah.
And Joe says, "Don't go in there. Chi'll bring her out." Like, oh, God. And she goes in there anyway, which was really good, because between his imaginary sufferings and the fact that he's high, and he pukes all over and he can't even stand up, it was good that she went in there. Okay?
I think that Jim Chi could benefit from an imaginary friend, to help him, just to help him with everything that's been going on, because he also, we didn't mention, but he had a little fight with Emanuelita in the motel. That was cringe. And so anyways, Billy talks to this other girl, and the other girl tells her that, like, she's in danger, and Billy's like, "Oh, wow, really?"
She was so naive. I mean, she did a good job acting.
I think the actress is actually pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the actors pretty good, actually.
That was another quote I had when Jim Chi was talking to Emanuelita.
Really?
I wrote down the two stupid quotes.
The two stupid
quotes. One was
quotes.
the one where Emma says, "It feels nice to be appreciated again, you know?"
That is a very feminine thing to say, though.
And then Emanuelita is this is the one I forgot to talk about. She and Jim, she goes, why won't you talk to me? And she said, "What's the deal here? Don't you think I deserve to get a promotion?" She said she didn't say promotion, but do I deserve to get this new job?
And that's after, by the way, she calls it a stupid job. She said, "Oh my God, you're still upset about the stupid job? Oh, wait, don't you think I deserve it?"
And then he looks at her and he says, and this is what Marco's been saying all the time. So it was funny. I thought they must have listened to him.
They probably did.
You left, Bern. Yeah. You left. Remember, she went down to be a border patrol, and he's been there the whole time doing his work and helping out. Joe. I mean, and he said that too. Remember when he was arguing with them, and it's about not being told about this, and this happening, and he said,
Yeah.
I was been with you this whole time, helping you out, doing everything. So it was basically kind of a continuation of that. And you left, Byrne.
Interesting.
So that was the other stupid thing. Like, oh my God, Marco's been talking to him.
Talking to. No, well, I just don't know what the conclusion is going to be. The only thing that I can think of is that the writers are doing this to bring Jim and Emanuelita closer together, because then maybe at the end of the season they get along, they're in a relationship, they're working together. Maybe that's the goal. It's like, we have to create some drama in order to bring them together at the end, But I don't know. I really don't know.
That could be. It's just in the book. They don't have to have that kind of drama.
I don't think you need to have that kind of drama in general, like especially in like a mystery story, like just going back to The Mentalist. It's not really that much of a thing. Well, actually, I don't know. I mean, I think that the people who make this show, they should go watch The Mentalist and then come back, and then go to the drawing board. Don't take any ecstasy like Jim Chi,
I don't know what it's supposed to be.
I think it's ecstasy.
Back then, I don't know.
Yes, Safi, of course.
No, not of course.
Yes, Safi.
No.
MK Ultra, of course.
Okay, I don't think so. But anyway,
I do.
I don't agree. But
I
anyway,
do.
Joe, meanwhile, he's gone to the top of this, it looks like a garage. I'm not sure what it is. It kind of looks like the place where the bad woman has been with her vehicle. In fact, it looks like he thinks he sees it. And he goes over there, and what happens? Now, to me, this is another dumb thing.
Yeah.
They're from the reservation. They're basically from the country.
Yeah.
They're rural dwellers because, that's the way it is out there. And he gets attacked by more than one person, and they're telling him to forget about it and go home.
Yeah.
But he fights off pretty well, but then somebody has a baton and they knock his legs out from him.
And the episode abruptly ends, and then they show the trailer, and that's it. And, I didn't dislike this episode. I enjoyed it. I give it like a B or a B+.
Yeah, I agree.
There wasn't anything terrible about it.
No, not at all.
It just kind of seems to me like the show is better when they focus on the case. And, like, the personal stuff is important, but a lot of the times in the show, the personal stuff is kind of stupid.
Well, it just doesn't make sense some of the time.
And it doesn't feel like the books. Like, if I were doing the show, just look at the book and just get inspired off of the book. And, like, it's hard to believe, too, like, you could call this fan fiction, because would fans read the books and then go, what's missing from this book? Relationship drama, like between Jim Chi and Emanuelita.
No.
Like, it'd be really fun if, like, they fought and had arguments, because that's what was missing from the books. So.
And that would never happen.
Yeah.
I think the way it works out, it just kind of falls into place. And it's not, what would you call it? It's not unnatural or forced. It just falls into place. So, whatever. And I the thing is, the reason why that mastermind, I guess he's the mastermind, wants the girl dead, because she might ask about her cousin and say that other guy got killed, and that would blow whatever they're doing completely apart. Seriously, really? I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. But then we don't know what the something is. So, and I still, even if I can think of something, a few somethings, I don't know how that could be. That was a kid. That was a young man. He wasn't some politician or a judge or...
I have a good answer for the mystery.
I don't know. It's just that I don't think the guy has that much power. If they find out he's been killed, that's going to be a problem.
I know what the operation is that they're doing.
What?
They're bootlegging movies. They're bootlegging Dolomite.
Ew.
And they're selling illegal copies of Dolomite.
So anyway, that's the episode, and it really was weird how it was abruptly ended.
Yeah.
And they immediately show
the trailer,
a scene for next week, which was kind of like the continuation of what was going on in the garage. I'm like, why couldn't they have added that part? Because it seems like it ended the episode early.
Coming next week on Better Call Saul. Oh, wait, whoops, wrong show. Dark Winds.
Well, that's it. I don't think there's anything else to say, except that it was pretty good. And
yeah, I like the actors.
I just don't like this extra drama. I just don't.
Well, I'm just trying to think
I don't understand why they want to do that.
Because on The Mentalist, what they do is they'll have personal drama, but a lot of the drama comes from the case and the mystery. Well, I don't want to spoil any of the really good Mentalist episodes, but yeah.
And when there is a mystery, there is some drama. You have people getting accused that they may not be culpable at all. You have the real killer or bad people who were hiding hiding in plain sight, and they've got to cover their tracks. We've been seeing it now every day for a year and a half or something, or over a year, where they're hiding the Epstein files. They're covering up this and covering up that. So, there's drama with that, but they're making up stuff. Making up bad things which aren't that bad. And adding to it to make it like a soap opera. I don't like that. I would just wish they'd get the F off of that. They don't have that in the books. The books aren't a soap opera. Not even when the daughter takes over. Ann Hellerman. They're not a soap opera. So go ahead.
Well, that's pretty much it for me. I mean, I enjoy the show because I like the actors, and I think that it has potential to be a great show, and at the very least...
Well, it's been getting better, I think.
Yeah, at the very least, it seems like they try to do a good show. It doesn't feel like they're kind of like fighting against what the show could be versus what they want. But,
well, the thing with Emma, that's one thing I don't like.
That's the worst part. If you took if you just had her go home and just randomly and be like, you know what, Joe... you're right, I'm going home. If they literally just did that and almost just made that whole storyline worthless, that would be fine for me, because there's just nothing about that that feels like it's worthwhile for the show. Like, is it really necessary? Does it really, enhance the story? No. It just makes it feel like
awkward.
Joe's character is just so weak, and he's just so he's so he's such a simp. He's like, here's your sticks, oh yeah, here's your tomatoes, I built the fence that you were talking about last season. I go to the mountains now, and I take my shirt off.
Well, he's saying that he's thinking about everything and putting everything into perspective and getting his emotions out of it and just seeing it for what it really is. And but this thing about she feels more appreciated now. BS. What
by
BS?
Who?
By who? Because she's in healthcare. So she's probably in this area, probably where she is. It's nearby. They have a lot of people who don't have a lot of money to pay for health care, and they need immediate help. And then when she goes back home, it's the same situation. She's in a rural area. They don't have a lot of access to medical care, and they're probably very busy, and they need help. So I don't think she's not busy at either place. So I don't know, this appreciation bit like what Marco just said, appreciated by whom?
I think it's like artificial drama
That's
because
what I'm saying.
a
I think
big
it's
issue,
artificial. I don't like it.
and a big issue with modern shows and movies is that, and I'm not trying to say that female characters don't deserve to have stories or things to do, but a lot of the times nowadays it feels like the writers look at all the characters and they look at the female characters and they go, okay, what can we have this female character do? Because we can't just let her be Joe's wife and, she's just doing her thing and that's her character. She has to be actively a part of the story. So we have to concoct this narrative for her of like, oh, maybe she wants to leave him and maybe that would be interesting because she would do things. And it's like, number one, it doesn't have to be that if you want her to be involved in the story. Like, she can be involved in other ways. But number two, sometimes it is just okay for a female character to be a girlfriend or a wife or, she does the medical work. They had that whole storyline that they kind of left where she's, like, exposing, like, the abortion thing or whatever. Like, there's other things to do that you can do that don't involve, like, oh, I'm leaving. I'm going to California and like all the other female characters leave town.
What drives me nuts is that she is a real Navajo. I read about this, and I talked about this before in another season. She helps all the other actors who, for the most part, are not Navajo at all.
In fact,
they speak other languages.
I think that a really good idea would have been her staying at the reservation, and maybe instead of either of Jim Cheer or Manuelita, maybe his wife is the one who takes over, and she's not working there as like a police whatever, but maybe she would be at the station trying to supervise and help things along. She could call Joe and tell him what's going on, and that could be a way for her to be actively involved in the story. She takes over, she temporarily is in charge while Joe is gone. And that would be fun. And then maybe they could even have it where they all come back to the reservation and maybe she has to protect from something. I don't know, but there's so many other things you could do instead of just the female character is gonna leave town again.
And if she's staying with another relative, which I think she is, they talk about this in the book, that they have they have clans in the Navajo culture. And so there might be another part of the clan that's not on the reservation, they're somewhere else. And there could be she could have relatives there in L.A. where she is and who she's staying with. They don't even talk about that.
Yeah.
They don't say a word about it. She doesn't work 24 hours a day. She has to sleep and eat somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
And watch The View.
I don't think that was on then, Marco. It wasn't on then.
Whoops. I know that, Safi.
So
well, what would the 1970s view be? Was there a show like that? Well, not necessarily not 100% like
Phil
that.
Phil Donahue.
But that was an actual good show. I mean, Safi.
It would have been Phil Donahue.
But that's a good show.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I have no idea.
I mean, a bad show.
There wasn't anything.
A bad show like The View.
Did Barbara? What's her name?
Streisand?
No, the one where you have the book there.
Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters was she on The View?
I don't know.
Did she start that? What was that show she was on?
Maybe she goes home and watches Charlie's Angels,
okay,
which that's an actual good show though. That's not bad like The View.
Okay.
So anyways, please like this video and comment and subscribe, especially if you write Dark Winds and you want to learn how to improve the show. You're very welcome on this channel, except for, Safi might not think that you're welcome, but I do. And then lastly, if you'd like to support this channel even further, head on over to our Patreon page where we have full, unedited, spoiler-filled movie reviews, tons of other bonus content. Yesterday, I edited and released a top 10 worst old movies of last year.
Mm-hmm.
I filmed that on January 1st, and I finally released it, and it is a Patreon exclusive. And then the day before yesterday, Safi and I did a spoiler review of Scream 7. So that's it. Goodbye,
Bye.
everybody.